Have you ever wondered, what does true love really mean? How can you build a relationship that is not only sustainable, but also happy? In love, men are often known for being strong, tough, and rational. Yet, behind that exterior lie vulnerabilities few expect, things they themselves sometimes hesitate to admit. Why does a seemingly unshakable man soften with just a word of concern? Why does he fall silent during arguments, even when emotions are turbulent inside? These vulnerabilities are not signs of weakness, but rather evidence of the deep love they hold for their partner. Let's explore the hidden corners of a man's heart when in love. Welcome to the Sophia's Knowledge channel. I'm Sophia. This is where lessons about love help you understand this complex emotion better. In today's video, we'll delve into 7 weaknesses of men in love, a fascinating story that might change the way you view love and life. Prepare yourself, because the insights and tips you're about to discover may lead you to reevaluate yourself and the relationships around you. Before we begin, find a quiet space, put on your headphones, and relax. Let your mind fully immerse in these sharings and enjoy every wonderful moment. Are you ready to explore new perspectives on love? Let's begin with Sophia right now. Number 1. Easily influenced by his partner's emotions. In love, men are often portrayed as strong, rational, and steadfast. However, interestingly, when deeply involved in a romantic relationship, even the strongest men can be profoundly affected by their partner's emotions. This is not just a sign of genuine love, but also one of the most common weaknesses many men experience. It significantly impacts their mood, decisions, and sometimes even their daily lives. Why are men easily affected by their partner's emotions? Despite their tough exterior, men are emotional beings when they truly love. When in love, a man often places his partner at the top of his priorities. He wants to please, care for, and protect her. This prioritization makes him easily influenced by her mood and actions. Imagine a typical day going smoothly, yet just one sulky text, a sad glance, or a random comment from his partner can instantly change his mood. Joy quickly fades, replaced by worry, confusion, and sometimes anxiety. This is a feeling many men have experienced. Common signs when a man is affected by his partner's emotions. Overly worried when his partner is upset. When his partner is unhappy, a truly loving man immediately feels concerned. He'll do whatever he can to find out why and try to make her feel better. However, sometimes this concern becomes excessive, making him forget that not every situation calls for advice or solutions. Sometimes, just listening and sharing is enough. Easily distracted in work and life. A small argument or unusual silence from his partner can be enough to break his concentration at work. He finds himself overthinking, wondering if he did something wrong, whether he should apologize, or how to smooth things over. This not only affects his work performance, but also his overall mood. Frequently checking on the relationship. Men become more sensitive when in love. They might constantly check messages, wait for calls, and feel uneasy when there's no timely response. While caring is essential, overdoing it can turn into subtle control without him even realizing it. Mood swings based on his partner's emotions. If she's happy, he feels joyful. But if she's sad or angry, he gets caught up in those negative emotions. Letting his feelings be so heavily influenced for too long can create tension and imbalance in the relationship. The deeper reasons behind this weakness. This vulnerability stems from deep love and a desire to maintain a good relationship. Men often feel responsible for making their partner happy, seeing her joy as a measure of their success in the relationship. Yet, this heavy sense of responsibility can make them more vulnerable. Another reason lies in the fear of losing the one they love. When deeply in love, men become sensitive to even the slightest change in their partner's attitude. They worry that small signs may indicate cracks or instability in the relationship. How can men overcome this weakness while remaining genuinely caring? Learn to maintain rationality. Don't let fleeting emotions cloud your judgment. When your partner is upset or angry, take time to listen and understand, but don't rush to react. Sometimes, staying silent and waiting for both emotions to settle can resolve things more effectively. Prioritize yourself when necessary. Love is about caring and sharing, but doesn't mean sacrificing your entire self. Remember, a healthy relationship needs balance. Don't become so dependent on your partner's mood that you neglect your own feelings. Communicate openly and gently. If you find yourself affected by her emotions, express it sincerely. Speak up not to blame, but to foster better understanding between you two. Sometimes, your partner may not even realize how her mood is impacting you. Build independence in thoughts and actions. No matter how deeply you love, everyone needs personal space. Make time for your hobbies, friends, and activities that help you maintain balance in life. See things from a positive perspective. Instead of worrying or overthinking, view emotional ups and downs as a natural part of love. What truly matters is how you handle and confront them. Final thoughts. A man's vulnerability to his partner's emotions isn't a sign of weakness, it's proof of genuine and deep affection. Yet, it's crucial to manage these feelings, balancing heart and mind. A lasting relationship isn't built on love alone, but also on understanding, respect, and independence from both sides. By loving wisely, you not only retain your inherent strength, but also create a happier and more enduring relationship. If you found this video helpful, share it with friends or loved ones to spread the value. And if you have any questions or ideas, leave them in the comments. I'm always here to listen and respond. Let's continue this journey together. Number 2. Fear of rejection and hurt. In love, no matter how strong one may be, men cannot avoid moments of vulnerability. One of the most common and silent fears that many men experience is the fear of being rejected and hurt. This fear not only appears when starting a relationship but also persists throughout the course of love, affecting the way they express their feelings, make decisions, and maintain the relationship. It is a weakness easily hidden behind a confident exterior, yet deeply impacts a man's soul. Why do men fear being rejected and hurt? By nature, men are often expected by society to be proactive in love. They are the ones who must take the initiative, express their feelings, and conquer. However, this very proactivity places them in the most vulnerable position. No one wants to give their all only to be met with harsh rejection. The feeling of being rejected is not only the pain of disappointment but also a wound that touches one's self-esteem. In addition, men are often not encouraged to display weak emotions. When rejected, they have to hide the pain inside, not allowed to complain or show their hurt publicly. This suppression only makes the fear grow larger. For many, one rejection can become an enduring obsession, making them hesitant to seize new opportunities. Manifestations of the fear of rejection in love. Hesitation to express feelings. One of the clearest signs of the fear of rejection is the reluctance to confess feelings. Even if a man likes someone very much, he sometimes still chooses to remain silent, waiting for clear signals from the other party rather than risking the expression of his emotions. He fears that an unreciprocated confession will render the relationship awkward or even lead to its end. Avoiding opening up after past hurts. Past wounds, especially those from relationships that ended in rejection, can leave a deep mark. Many men, after being hurt once, build a wall around their hearts, avoiding opening up to new people for fear that history will repeat itself. Appearing indifferent to hide true feelings. To avoid being hurt, men sometimes choose to act cold and indifferent. This is a defensive mechanism to keep themselves from being placed in a vulnerable position. However, such indifference can sometimes lead others to mistakenly believe that they do not care, inadvertently causing them to miss out on good opportunities in love. Easily hurt by casual remarks. Even a single teasing comment or joke about the relationship can cause a man pain. He might appear indifferent, but internally he silently frets and worries. Always afraid of losing the loved one. Even when in a relationship, the fear of rejection still exists in another form, the fear of being abandoned. This makes many men become jealous, controlling, or overly dependent on the relationship. Deeper reasons for the fear of rejection and hurt. This fear stems from various factors, both internal and external. High self-esteem. Men often tie their self-worth to success and love. Being rejected means they feel that their personal value is diminished. Social pressure. Society often expects men to be successful in every aspect, including love. Failure in a relationship is sometimes seen as a stain on one's masculine image. Negative past experiences, incomplete relationships and blunt rejections leave deep impressions, making them cautious in future relationships. Fear of losing control. When in love, people can easily fall into a state of emotional instability. Men are often afraid that if they are rejected, they will not be able to control the sorrow that follows. How to overcome the fear of rejection and hurt. The fear of rejection is inevitable in love, but the important thing is to learn how to confront and overcome it. Here are some suggestions to help men become stronger in the face of this fear. Accept that rejection is a part of life. No one can please everyone, and love is no different. Rejection is not a denial of who you are but simply a sign of incompatibility. Consider it an opportunity to find someone more suitable. Do not tie your self-worth to the acceptance of others. Your value does not depend on whether someone loves you or not. Be confident in yourself, focus on developing your strengths, and do things that make you happy. Learn to express your emotions without fear. Instead of worrying about the outcome, focus on expressing your feelings sincerely. Regardless of the result, you will feel relieved for having dared to speak your mind. Confront the fear rather than avoiding it. Avoidance only amplifies the fear. Place yourself in situations that require courage, starting with small steps such as initiating conversation, inviting someone for coffee, or simply offering a sincere compliment. Reevaluate old relationships from a positive perspective. Every relationship, no matter how it ends, brings lessons. Learn from past mistakes but do not let them bind you to the past. Build emotional independence. Do not let your happiness depend entirely on someone else. Seek joy through your hobbies, personal passions, and the relationships around you. Finally, the fear of rejection and hurt is a common fear for everyone, not just men. However, daring to love, daring to express, and daring to accept the outcome is the true mark of courage and love. A strong man is not one who has never failed but one who knows how to rise after rejection. Remember that every time you face your fear, you are moving closer to a sincere and deserving relationship. In love, what matters is not avoiding hurt but knowing how to love yourself even when pain appears. Number 3. An overbearing ego. In love, understanding, compromise, and mutual respect are the core factors that help a relationship endure. However, one of the barriers that makes love tiring and prone to collapse is an overbearing ego. Especially for men, who are expected by society to be strong, decisive, and steadfast, letting their ego override their emotions can inadvertently hurt their partner and destroy the relationship they cherish. Why do men often have a big ego in love? For a long time, men have been associated with the image of being the leaders in relationships. Society and culture place the responsibility on them to be strong, not allowed to show weakness or compromise too much. This leads many men to develop a high ego, always wanting to assert their position in the relationship. They fear that compromising will be seen as weakness, and that if they lower themselves, their partner will no longer show respect. Furthermore, high self-esteem makes it hard for men to admit they are wrong. Even if they know they might have said something inappropriate or done something that upset their partner, taking the initiative to apologize becomes a challenge. For them, admitting a mistake is tantamount to lowering themselves, hurting their naturally sensitive pride. Common manifestations of an overbearing ego in love. Difficulty accepting feedback or criticism. When their partner offers suggestions, instead of listening and reflecting, many men react with irritation, feeling that they are being criticized or not respected. A big ego makes them see feedback as a denial of their self-worth rather than an opportunity for improvement. Reluctance to apologize, even when they know they are wrong. There are arguments that drag on not because the issue is serious, but simply because one of the parties, often the man, refuses to say sorry. Their ego makes them think that they should not be the one to back down, fearing a loss of status in the relationship. Wanting to decide everything. Men with a big ego often want to make decisions in every situation, from trivial matters like choosing a restaurant or a place to hang out to major issues such as future plans. They find it hard to accept being opposed or having their opinions disagreed with. Jealousy and control to avoid feeling shortchanged. A high ego can lead men to fall into irrational jealousy. They do not want their partner to be too close with others, not because of a lack of trust, but because they fear no longer being the center of attention. Sometimes, this control stems from not wanting to feel overshadowed. Lack of compromise during conflicts. In disputes, instead of seeking resolution, men with a big ego often try to win the argument. They want the final word to be theirs, even if it hurts their partner. Consequences of an overbearing ego in a relationship. At first, a partner may accept compromises out of love, but if a man's ego is too dominant and overshadows the love, the relationship will gradually become tense. Stubbornness and lack of compromise can make the other person feel unappreciated and eventually distant. A relationship in which one person is always at a disadvantage and constantly compromising will soon lose its balance. The partner may feel that all their efforts are not recognized, while the man, whether he intends to or not, pushes the one he loves away. The deeper causes of a big ego. An overbearing ego does not develop naturally. It is the result of several factors, such as pressure from gender roles. From a young age, many men are taught that men must be strong and not weak. This inadvertently makes them fear being looked down upon when showing compromise or vulnerability. Past experiences. The wounds from previous relationships can lead men to build an armor named ego to protect themselves from further hurt. Fear of losing control. Men with a high ego often fear that if they do not maintain initiative, they will be sidelined in the relationship and lose their inherent position. How to control the ego in love. For a relationship to develop healthily, men need to learn to place love above their personal ego. Here are some suggestions to help control and adjust the ego. Understand that compromise is not losing. In love, sometimes silence and compromise are not signs of weakness, but means of preserving happiness. A mature man knows when to be firm and when to be gentle. A timely apology can resolve many issues better than fighting till the end. Learn to listen without being defensive. When your partner offers feedback, try to listen with an open heart. Do not immediately assume that the other person is attacking or blaming you. Sometimes, listening silently is a way to show maturity and respect. Put yourself in your partner's shoes. Instead of viewing everything solely from a personal perspective, try to think, if I were her, how would I feel? Empathy is the key to helping you adjust your ego and behave more sensitively. Practice letting go of the need to win every argument. In love, winning or losing is not as important as both parties feeling happy. Instead of trying to prove you are right, focus on finding a solution to the problem. Take time to self-reflect. Sometimes, ask yourself, is my ego hurting the one I love? Self-questioning is the first step to recognizing what needs to change. Build inner confidence instead of relying on control. A truly strong man is one who is confident in himself without needing to control or impose on others. When you are secure within, your ego will naturally balance out. Finally, an overbearing ego is one of the greatest barriers in love. It not only makes the relationship tense, but can also cause the loss of opportunities to nurture love. A mature man is not someone who is always right, but one who knows when to be firm and when to be gentle. Love is about building together, not a battle to see who wins. When you learn to place love and understanding above your ego, your relationship will become lighter, warmer, and stronger than ever. If you are still watching until this moment, don't hesitate to comment the word "continue." Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section. I look forward to hearing your opinions, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so that Sophia will have more motivation to create more meaningful and interesting videos. Let's continue together. Number 4. Overly worried about finances and responsibilities. In love, men are often seen as a solid support for women. They carry within them the instinct to protect, shelter, and care for the one they love. However, the pressure from that role causes many men to fall into a state of stress, overly worrying about finances and responsibilities. This is a common weakness, but seldom mentioned, as most men hide these concerns deep within, not wanting their partner to be burdened. Why do men worry about finances and responsibilities when in love? In modern society, the concept of equality in a relationship is increasingly popular, but it cannot be denied that many men still hold traditional views. A man must be the financial pillar. They believe that to be worthy of love, they must be capable of taking care of their partner, both materially and emotionally. When in love, men not only think about the present but also plan for the future. Will I be able to take care of her? When we get married, can I give her a stable life? If we face financial difficulties, will this relationship last? These questions swirl in their minds, causing them to easily fall into a state of pressure. Especially, when a man loves a woman he truly respects and wants to provide with the best, it further pushes him to strive harder. However, that effort sometimes turns into a burden if he does not know how to balance responsibility and emotion. Manifestations when men are overly worried about finances and responsibilities. The pressure to earn money to the point of forgetting oneself. Many men, when in love, pour all their energy into work in the hope of providing a fulfilling life for their partner. They work overtime, take on many projects, and even sacrifice their rest time and moments with their partner. Although the intention is good, the absence both physically and emotionally can easily make the relationship become distant. Avoiding discussing financial matters in the relationship. When feeling not financially secure enough, men often hesitate to talk about money. They fear disappointing their partner or believe they are not capable of providing for the future. Therefore, instead of openly sharing, they choose to remain silent or avoid conversations related to expenses and joint planning. Always feeling that they are not good enough. The pressure of responsibility makes many men insecure about their own capabilities. Even if their partner does not demand much, they still feel unworthy or worry that they cannot meet their partner's expectations. This prolonged insecurity can easily lead the relationship to become strained. Stress when their partner spends too freely. Even if not directly bearing all the expenses, men still feel pressure when they see their partner spending carefree. They worry whether the relationship can be sustained if financial habits are not balanced. Always prioritizing responsibilities over emotions. Many men, when faced with the choice between working extra hours or spending time with their partner, will choose work for the sake of both of our future. However, if this happens too frequently, the partner may feel neglected and not properly cared for. The deeper causes of the worry about finances and responsibilities. Social pressure and family expectations. Society still often associates a man's success with his financial ability. Family, friends, and even the men themselves expect that a good man is one who can take care of his woman. Personal experiences and the past. Difficult experiences in the past, such as living in poverty or witnessing relatives struggle financially, make men fear that they might repeat the same with their partner. Deep love and the desire to provide the best. When a man truly loves someone, he always wants to make his partner proud and happy. This desire, although born from sincere affection, can easily turn into pressure if not kept in check. How to balance responsibility and emotion. Openly share your financial situation with your partner. Don't hesitate to express your difficulties or limitations. A healthy relationship requires understanding from both sides. Many women do not demand perfection in material terms, they only need sincerity and a joint effort. Do not let material concerns overshadow love. Money is important, but it is not everything in love. Sometimes, simple moments, a leisurely walk, or heartfelt conversations can strengthen the relationship more than expensive gifts. Know your own limits. Working hard is commendable, but health and emotional well-being cannot be bought. Learn to balance between work and personal life. Spending time with your partner is not just a responsibility, but also a way to nurture your affection. Remind yourself that your self-worth is not solely defined by finances. A man is worthy not because of how much money he has, but because of how he treats the one he loves. Be confident in the care, kindness, and effort you put into the relationship. Build a financial plan together. If the relationship is long-term, suggest planning expenses and savings together. When your partner is involved in financial matters, the burden becomes much lighter. Do not let responsibility become a burden you bear alone. A relationship is about sharing. If you feel overwhelmed, speak up. Your partner is willing to listen and help you find a way through rather than watching you suffer in silence. Finally, being overly worried about finances and responsibilities is a common weakness many men face when in love. It is a manifestation of sincere affection and deep care, but if not managed well, it can turn into a burden that strains the relationship. Remember, love is about sharing together, not a journey where one person has to carry the weight alone. When you know how to balance responsibility and emotion, love will no longer be a pressure, but a source of motivation for both of you to move forward together. Number 5. Lack of ability to communicate emotions. In love, communication is the key to building and maintaining a lasting relationship. However, one of the most common weaknesses that many men experience is the lack of ability to communicate their emotions. Even though they may love and care deeply for the woman beside them, men do not always know how to express that. Silence, reluctance to show emotions, or even avoiding deep conversations can make their partner feel abandoned and misunderstood. Why do men often struggle with communicating emotions? There are many reasons why men encounter obstacles when expressing their feelings, ranging from the influence of education, their living environment, to the psychological differences between the genders. From a young age, many boys are taught that boys are not allowed to cry and must be strong, not weak. These beliefs inadvertently lead them to grow up with the mentality of suppressing emotions and viewing the expression of vulnerability as a sign of weakness. In addition, men's instincts tend to lean toward finding solutions rather than sharing emotions. When faced with a problem, they tend to think in silence, seeking ways to solve it instead of sitting down to talk and open up. This leads to a significant difference in communication with women, who often feel loved when they are listened to and shared with. Common manifestations of the lack of emotional communication. Silence when problems arise. When conflicts occur or something unpleasant happens, many men choose to remain silent rather than express their true feelings. They think that keeping quiet will ease the tension, but for women, that silence is like an invisible wall that makes them feel abandoned. Reluctance to say words of love or give compliments. Even though they care deeply for their partner, many men rarely express it verbally. They believe that actions of care are enough and there is no need to say it out loud. However, women often need to hear words of love to feel connected. Negative reactions when asked to share emotions. When their partner asks, "What are you thinking?" many men only reply briefly, "Nothing," or "I'm fine." Avoiding questions related to feelings makes the partner feel confused and distant. Lack of empathy in conversations. Men often tend to offer advice instead of listening when their partner shares a problem. While women merely need comfort and understanding, men focus on finding a solution, inadvertently losing the necessary emotional connection. Not knowing how to express sadness or disappointment. When something upsetting happens, instead of sharing with their partner, many men choose to solve it on their own or hide their emotions. They fear that showing vulnerability will make them lose their image of strength. Consequences of the lack of emotional communication in love. The inability to communicate emotions not only makes it hard for men to express love, but also severely affects the relationship. When a woman does not feel the care from her partner, she easily falls into loneliness even within the relationship. Arguments that are not completely resolved due to a lack of sharing will gradually accumulate, turning into cracks that are hard to mend. The partner may misunderstand that the man no longer cares, does not want to listen, or even does not value the relationship. Over time, the emotional distance will create a gap in their hearts, causing the love to cool. In addition, the man himself also suffers when he does not know how to communicate emotions. Suppressing them for too long can lead to stress, exhaustion, and negative effects on mental health. The relationship ceases to be a place for him to seek comfort and becomes a psychological burden. The deeper causes of this weakness. Influence of education and culture. Many cultures view men displaying emotions as a sign of weakness, which makes them accustomed to hiding everything inside. Biological and psychological differences. Women tend to connect emotionally more easily, while men often lean toward action and logic. This leads to differences in how they express affection. Negative past experiences. Times when their emotions were shared but dismissed or not understood can make men hesitant to open up next time. Fear of being hurt. Expressing emotions means revealing weaknesses. Men fear that if they show too much emotion, they will be easily hurt if the relationship does not meet their expectations. How to improve the ability to communicate emotions. Although changing the habit of emotional communication cannot happen overnight, with patience and determination, men can definitely improve to build a better relationship. Start with small things. There is no need to immediately share every deep emotion. Start by saying simple things like, "I'm feeling a bit tired today," or "I'm happy to see you." These small phrases help your partner feel cared for. Learn to listen without immediately reacting. When your partner shares, focus on listening without interrupting or immediately offering advice. Sometimes, silent listening accompanied by a nod is enough for your partner to feel understood. Do not be afraid to show vulnerability. Being strong does not mean always hiding your feelings. Sharing sadness, disappointment, or worry will help the relationship become more connected. Your partner will feel trusted when you open up. Practice emotional communication through writing. If you find it difficult to speak, try writing down what you feel. A simple message like, "I'm sorry for making you sad, I will try to listen more," can also create a positive change. Put yourself in your partner's shoes. Try to think, if I were her, what would I want to hear? Empathy will help you adjust your communication style more naturally. Seek advice from family or friends. Sometimes, talking with those who have experience in relationships can help you learn many useful ways to improve your communication skills. Finally, the lack of ability to communicate emotions is one of the common weaknesses, but it is not impossible to overcome. Love requires sharing, and sharing emotions is the bridge that helps both people understand each other more deeply. Men do not always have to be the strong ones. Sometimes vulnerability and sincerity are what make a woman feel most loved. When you know how to open your heart and express your emotions in the right way, the relationship will not only become stronger but also help you feel lighter, happier, and loved completely. Number 6. jealous yet not admitting it. In love, jealousy is a natural emotion that everyone experiences at least once. It is a sign that you care and fear losing the one you love. However, the particularity with men is that no matter how jealous they are, they still often do not admit it. Even though they may be burning with discomfort when they see their partner getting close to someone else, on their lips come denials such as, "I'm fine," or "I didn't notice." This is one of the common weaknesses that men often hide, because they fear being seen as weak, childish, or lacking in confidence. It is worth noting that when jealous feelings are suppressed for too long without being released, they slowly erode the relationship. The partner might not understand why you suddenly become cold or unexpectedly irritable, while you yourself are submerged in a tangle of emotions with no idea how to escape. Why do men feel jealous yet not admit it? There are many reasons why men, although feeling jealous, still try to cover up their true emotions. Part of it stems from male instincts, and another part comes from social pressure and personal viewpoints. Self-respect and pride. Men often have high self-esteem. They fear that admitting jealousy will be seen as a lack of backbone or an inability to control their emotions. In their mind, publicly showing jealousy is equivalent to exposing a weakness in front of their partner. Pressure from societal stereotypes. Society has long assigned men the image of being strong, rational, and not concerned with petty matters. Expressing jealousy is considered childish or unmanly. Therefore, many men, even if they feel discomfort inside, try to act nonchalant. Fear of putting their partner in an awkward position or ruining their mood. Some men understand that excessive jealousy might make their partner feel controlled or suffocated. To keep the relationship harmonious, they choose to remain silent, hoping that the feeling will eventually fade away. Deep-seated fear of being hurt. Jealousy is sometimes a manifestation of insecurity and the fear that one is not good enough compared to others. But instead of admitting that fear, men hide it to protect their image of confidence in front of their partner. Common manifestations when men feel jealous but do not admit it. Even though they verbally deny being jealous, their actions often reveal everything. If you notice closely, you will see that when a man is jealous, he often exhibits the following behaviors. Abnormal change in attitude. A minute ago, he was cheerful, and the next minute he becomes silent, or even inexplicably irritable. When asked, he will give a perfunctory answer like, "Nothing," or "I'm just tired." Pretending to be indifferent while keeping a close eye. When he sees his partner chatting happily with someone else, he might pretend not to care, but his eyes continuously follow. Afterwards, he might casually ask, "Who is that?" Then quickly shift the conversation to another topic. Teasing or making light, sarcastic remarks. Sometimes, jealousy is expressed through half-joking, half-serious comments such as, "It seems like you're happier talking with him," or "I think you're too close with that person." Avoiding mentioning the person who triggers his jealousy. When he feels uncomfortable about someone, the man will try to avoid referring to that person in conversation, as if ignoring them to avoid confronting his own emotions. Taking the initiative to spend more time with his partner. When feeling that there is a rival, a man often finds ways to appear more frequently by his partner's side, from routinely picking her up to suddenly joining activities that he previously showed little interest in. Consequences when jealousy is not admitted. Jealousy is not inherently bad, the important thing is how you confront and handle that emotion. When a man continuously denies and suppresses his jealousy, the relationship will gradually face underlying problems. Misunderstandings and growing distance. The partner may not understand the sudden changes in your behavior. When the reason is unknown, she may feel alienated and no longer cared for as before. Built-up tension that easily explodes. Emotions suppressed for a long time can lead to sudden outbursts of anger, or even unnecessary arguments. At that point, everything becomes difficult to control. Pressure on both partners. You feel exhausted having to hide your true emotions, while your partner is confused about why the relationship is becoming so heavy. Both are caught in a vicious cycle of silence and distance. Self-inflicted emotional harm. When you do not speak up, you continuously entertain negative thoughts and imagine unpleasant scenarios. This not only drags down your spirit but also affects your self-confidence within the relationship. How to face jealousy in a healthy way. Jealousy is a natural and completely normal part of love. The important thing is that you need to know how to confront and manage it skillfully, so as not to hurt either party. Accept your own emotions. First, acknowledge to yourself that you are feeling jealous. Denial only intensifies the negative emotions. Once you accept it, you will find it easier to control and come up with a reasonable solution. Communicate openly yet gently. Instead of remaining silent, share your feelings with your partner. There is no need to use accusatory language like, "You make me jealous," but rather say, "I feel uncomfortable when I see you getting close with that person. I know I might be a bit sensitive, but I want you to understand how I feel." Investigate the deep-rooted reasons behind your jealousy. Sometimes, jealousy stems from a lack of confidence or a fear of loss. Ask yourself, am I worrying too much? Is there any basis for this feeling, or is it just my imagination? Understanding the root cause will make it easier to control yourself. Enhance trust within the relationship. Trust is the foundation that prevents jealousy from turning negative. Spend time nurturing the relationship and create joyful moments that help both of you bond more deeply. Avoid excessive control or questioning. Jealousy becomes toxic if it turns into controlling behavior. Do not let your emotions drive you to interrogate, scrutinize, or doubt every action of your partner. That will only add tension to the relationship. Take care of yourself and maintain your own relationships. Do not let your entire happiness depend on one person. Continue to pursue your own interests, meet with friends, and take care of yourself. When you are confident and happy on your own, negative emotions will diminish. Finally, jealousy is an unavoidable part of love, but how you face that emotion is what truly matters. Men do not have to hide or consider it something shameful. Acknowledging your feelings, sharing them sincerely, and maintaining respect for your partner will help the relationship become healthier and more enduring. Do not let your ego prevent you from voicing what you truly feel, because sometimes, an open conversation is the key to resolving all misunderstandings and deepening your love. Number 7. Easily overwhelmed by small acts of care. In love, men may be strong in the face of every challenge, but there is one thing they can hardly resist: the small gestures of care from the woman they love. It does not take lavish gifts or long promises, just one simple yet sincere action can deeply move a man. Interestingly, many men, no matter how resolute they are, cannot hide their vulnerability when receiving simple but meaningful care. They may stand tall before the world, yet they are easily defeated by a caring text message, a home-cooked meal, or a gentle hug on a tired day. This is a seemingly simple weakness that has a powerful impact on their psyche and the way they love within a relationship. Why are men easily overwhelmed by the little things? There are many reasons why men are easily touched by small acts of care. Men rarely receive care. From a young age, men are often taught to be independent, strong, and not to show too much emotion. They are used to solving everything on their own, from work to personal life. Therefore, when someone cares for them in a gentle way, they feel valued and are easily moved. The instinctual desire for recognition and encouragement. No matter how strong men are, they always long to be acknowledged and encouraged. A simple compliment like "You're so capable" or "I'm proud of you" can give them extra motivation and make them feel even more loved. Small actions carry great meaning. For men, the little things often hold more value than extravagant items. A cup of coffee in the morning during a busy day, a neatly pressed shirt, or simply remembering their favorite dish, all these create a warm feeling and help them perceive deep love. Care is an expression of genuine affection. In love, what matters is not material things, but sincerity. Men are easily overwhelmed by small gestures because they show that their partner truly cares about them. Small actions that can move a man. Remembering the little details about him. When a woman remembers his preferences, habits, or even the smallest details about him, a man feels truly important. For example, just remembering that he likes his coffee without sugar or that he has a habit of listening to music before sleep is enough for him to feel cared for. Encouraging words at the right time. When a man faces difficulties, he often finds it hard to express his inner feelings. But if his partner simply says, "Keep doing your best, I always support you," that can add a lot of motivation. Taking the initiative to care when he is tired. When a man is sick or overwhelmed with work, even a bowl of hot porridge or a gentle hug can make him feel loved. Sending a surprising caring message. A simple text like, "Have you had lunch yet?" or "How's your day going?" can brighten his entire day. Gently adjusting his collar or smoothing his hair. Sometimes, unconscious gestures like adjusting his collar or brushing off the dust from his shoulders are what move a man the most. Creating a small surprise. It does not take an expensive gift, just a small note with a sweet message tucked in his shirt pocket or a favorite song sent in the morning is enough to warm a man's heart. Listening without judgment. Men do not always want advice, sometimes they just need someone to listen. When a woman listens patiently without interrupting or judging, a man feels more understood and trusted. Consequences when men do not receive small acts of care. Although men rarely demand attention, when they do not receive it, they can easily feel lonely even within a relationship. The absence of small gestures that express love can lead to the following outcomes. Feeling unappreciated. A man may not say it out loud, but he too wants to be loved. If his partner does not pay attention to the little things, he might feel unimportant in the relationship. Becoming attracted to someone else. When a man does not feel cared for by his partner, he may unconsciously be drawn to someone else, someone who is ready to give him gentle and warm gestures. Becoming withdrawn and less communicative. If a man does not feel the care, he may gradually become quiet, no longer proactive in sharing, and keep a distance from his partner. The relationship becoming bland. The small acts are the spices of love. Without them, the relationship can fall into a state of blandness and lack of connection. How to maintain proper care without making a man feel controlled? Do not overdo it. Men value care, but if they are cared for to the extent that their personal space is lost, they may feel constrained. Keep the care moderate and natural. Let everything happen sincerely. Caring is not an obligation, it comes from genuine affection. When you do it sincerely, a man will feel it. Do not expect immediate reciprocation. Men are not always skilled at expressing their emotions. Do not be quick to be disappointed if they do not react immediately, because your care will undoubtedly leave a lasting impression on them. Understand that men also need to be loved. Do not think that only women need care. No matter how strong a man is, he too has moments of vulnerability and needs care. Conclusion. Love is a journey of understanding, sharing, and companionship. Along that journey, no matter how strong and rational they may be, men also have their own weaknesses that sometimes they do not even realize. The 7 weaknesses discussed, from being easily influenced by a partner's emotions, fear of rejection, an overbearing ego, worrying about finances and responsibilities, lacking the ability to communicate emotions, being jealous yet not admitting it, to being easily overwhelmed by small acts of care, are all common aspects of men's psychology and emotions when in love. These weaknesses are not signs of fragility, but rather evidence of the deep and sincere affection that men have for the ones they love. It is the worry when their partner is sad, the fear of losing a precious relationship, the desire to be a solid support, or simply being moved by a small act of care. However, the important thing is to know how to control and adjust these emotions so as not to hurt oneself or one's partner. A happy and lasting relationship does not demand perfection, but rather understanding and empathy from both sides. When men learn to acknowledge their weaknesses and actively share, and when women listen and respect the feelings of their partners, love becomes a driving force that helps both grow and be happier. Finally, remember that love is not just about giving or receiving, it is about building together. Do not be afraid to express your emotions, do not fear lowering your ego when necessary, and never forget that sometimes, a small word or a simple gesture is enough to keep the flame of love burning forever. Thank you for watching the video until the end. I hope today's insights on love will offer you new perspectives and provide you with valuable lessons. If you find the video useful, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your loved ones. I am very grateful for your support, and I hope that each video will help you move closer to a happy and lasting love. See you in the next videos. Wishing you a wonderful and inspiring day.